Alright guys, so it has been a minute since I have filmed anything for you guys, but today on the Miata we're hopefully going to get started again. I got starter fluid, some water remover for the gas because it's been sitting again for about 6 months now, and then some new spark plugs just in case. Now, I've been chasing my tail with the car not starting ever since the last video. I think one of the grounds are messed up, so we're going to have to run through the whole car and see what's going on, and then maybe switch to computers because the Mega Squirt is set up for turbo and this is NA for now. There's no intercooler piping hooked up to anything, so we'll see what goes on there, see if it does anything, because it was idling super high. I'm guessing because of the duty cycle there was no extra air flowing into the motor, meaning it to idle higher or lower to kind of compensate. Don't really know 100%, but anyway, we're gonna hop right into it, get into that, and then hopefully it'll start up by today. I've been dealing with this for about 3 weeks, why videos haven't been coming up. I'm just trying to figure out what it is before I put the next video out, so it's just not wasting anyone's time with anything. So let's hop right into it and see what's going on with the Miata. Alright guys, once again I have the intake manifold back off. I am going to be throwing the stock injectors back in. And if you're wondering why, I'm going to also be throwing in the stock ECU, just so we can get the break-in miles like I said previously. So the RX-8 injectors are out, so the old computer, and the good old stock boys back in. These came out of the head before I put the RX-8 ones in, so they should be fine. I know they work. Let's throw those back together, put the computer in, and hopefully it starts. Alright, so here are the spark plugs. As you see, they're soaked in gas. Yeah, that's gas. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of stick a vacuum in there, and the spark plug holes kind of dry out the cylinders a little bit. Alright, so I've come to the conclusion where I'm just gonna pull this little T-clamp off, spray some starter fluid in with the throttle body open. I guess that's kind of standard procedure, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully the plugs don't flood again, and hopefully it runs, because I haven't heard it run in 3 weeks now. So let's give it a shot and see what happens. Alright, well, I think I found another problem. I don't know if that plastic lining is supposed to be like that. As you can see, it's already cut here, so I'm just going to cut it back a little bit more, just kind of about to right here, because I have a decent amount of line there. All sorts of fuel in the intake from it being flooded. All that good? Yeah. So all the smoke that came out of it was starter fluid. Alright guys, so I was doing some talking to the people on the Miata pages on Facebook. Shout out to them, they are super helpful. So they're saying that the fuel pressure regulator on my car is acting up or broken. So this is another one from the motor that I bought when we built it. Anyway, the old one was decently gross, this one's not as bad. And so we'll see what happens. We'll throw this in, clean the intake out, and then because it looks like there's some trash in there, fire this thing back, or try to fire it up and see what happens. So it's pretty simple install. It's literally 2 10mm and just pops in like that. All right, well, vacuum leak, fuel pressure regulator. Let's fix both of them and see what happens. All right guys, so everything is now put back together. I'm gonna give it some time to sit because I put some new RTV on the gaskets so there's no vacuum leaks, because I found one right where this RTV's at, so I just put some extra there. See, just kind of stop anything. I replaced this. I don't know why it looks like that, but yeah, so I took it from the old intake manifold and threw it on there, called it good. Alright guys, so the ECU popped up with a code about the cam position sensor, that guy right there. So previously one of these belts slipped off and was just rubbing up against it pretty bad. It caused a little bit of a smoke on the AC, or not AC, power steering belt. So I'm gonna go ahead, take that guy out, and I have a replacement from this block that I bought to build the motor. So I'm gonna throw it on and gap it correctly, because I guess there's a certain gap you need. It's like 0.8 or whatever. I'll have to look it up again. I gotta line it up with one of the teeth first. It almost looks too close. So I gotta move the crank over and all that stuff. So we'll be getting into that, and hopefully this thing starts up. Well, the tiny Miata battery has died again, and I'm pretty tired from doing this all day, so I'm gonna catch you guys tomorrow, hopefully, when this battery is charged. Alright guys, so I have come to the conclusion that my coil pack wires are backwards. Alright, so you can see the coil pack wires back there. One of them has a blue piece of tape on it. The one right there has a blue piece of tape on it, and this one doesn't. So it's a factory indicator to tell you which way the wires are supposed to go into the coil. So I have a spare over here, and as you can see, the blue tape is supposed to line up with that blue dot, like on the fuel rail here. So here's the coil pack wires that time the fire to the injection, whatever. So I have these backwards from when I was playing with the coil packs. I thought maybe the wires were backwards, and then I forgot to change them back. So I believe that is what my issue is, because the spark plugs are always getting flooded. It's not firing on time. So hopefully this is what the problem is. Because if not, then, you know, I don't know what else would be, because that seems to be the only other issue that I've been finding with this the whole time. So the spark plugs are out again. I'm going to dry them off, flip these wires around, and then we'll give her a start and see what happens. Hopefully she cranks and fires, which should be really cool. And we'll finally have the Miata back up and running. So let's get this worked out and see what happens. Alright, they are switched around, and I guess now it's time to fire the car and see what happens. Oh, and here is the camshaft positioning sensor, or crankshaft, my bad. As you can see, there is some pretty deep gouges in it. So I had a spare, so I thought I might as well throw it in if that is a problem for anything. So anyway, everything should be good. So let's take this one, throw it in the bin of memories, and go ahead and crank this guy up. Fuck yeah! Hell yeah! Woo! Woo! Well guys, I think that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. It is obviously raining out. I'm not gonna go drive it around, but it finally fucking started after 3-4 weeks of messing with it. I'm going through the ECU, injectors, and everything else that I showed you guys along in this video. But shit, she runs now. I'm hyped as shit. I hope you guys are too, because we got a Miata back. Let's go. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one with some driving videos or whatever else we do to it. So anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one.